Hi, this is property management guru Robert Tack, giving you an update as to what we're going through right now with a potential tenant and what we call the letter of intent. So, the letter of intent is really a critical part of any negotiation that you have. You want to make sure that when you're representing the landlord, that you have a letter of intent. The letter of intent is really a document that allows the negotiations to get to the final phase, right? So you want to have in there what exactly the amount of rent's going to be paid, the dollar amount, the annual increases, the tenant improvement allowance. You want to have the LOI stated, all these things. And by the way, the letter of intent is a non binding document. Okay. So even if the landlord signs it and even if the tenant signs it, it doesn't mean anything legally for many of the situations until a lease is signed. So the real purpose of this is get to the stage where the landlord's attorney can take the business agreed upon terms, put it into a lease, and create the lease. So we always want to make sure that when we go to lease a potential space that we have the LOI done ahead of time, at least the basics of it, and then we can customize it depending on the situation for that landlord. So annual 3% increase for this particular property. It talks about the base rent. It talks about the commencement date. It even has a fixturing period. How many days will the tenant have to get their space ready before the lease rent commencement starts, before the rent kicks in? It talks about the security deposit, the broker fee, the tenant improvement allowance, if any. Of course, normally the improvement allowance is based on how good of a credit that the tenant has. So these are the things that you want to think about ahead of time. Talk to the landlord about what they're willing to do. Now, some of these things are going to have to be based on, again, the credit worthiness of the tenant. So there's going to be some flexibility built in, but you're going to have a general understanding. How is the space being delivered? How many parking spaces? What is the length of the lease and the option term? So these are important items to have dialogue with the landlord up front so that when you get a call from a broker and they say, hey, tell me about it, tell me the details. How much TI am I going to get? What are the pass through charges? You want to have that, as a property manager and the leasing agent. Be professional, have that stuff down. You send them a quick LOI and boom, they have it. And they can use, I like to do it in Word so that we can have back and forth negotiations in Word so you can redline it. Guys, if you have questions on the letter of intent, give us a call, 202-319-2884. Check us out on the web, capitalretail.com. This is Robert with Capital Retail Group. You like the video? Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, check us out.